Welcome back to the Pursuit of Accuracy. I'm Josh, and today we are going to be talking about the Eley Ultra Gen 2 and the test results that we have, and we're going to be talking about this larger as a conception of what this ammo could be, because obviously I have a sample size of a couple rifles and a couple lots. So let's get straight into it. So before we get too far in the weeds and get to the shooting video, and yes, I do have 50-yard group tests across 3 different rifles with this. I also shoot this out to 150 yards on the home range here. I do want to talk about the fact that this is the Gen 2 Eley Ultra. I have the Gen 1 Eley Ultra here. There are some visual differences, and if you guys can recall, or if you were part of the guys who bought this to begin with or saw the video, the Gen 1 Eley Ultra was a complete fail. It was such a bad fail that Eley actually refunded the people who purchased this in the US. That's how bad that lot was. So first things off, and I will get you guys some up close pictures, the Gen 1 Ultra had a much darker bullet than the Gen 2. The Gen 2 has a really brightly colored projectile, and let me tell you, you can see this thing in the air like nobody's business, especially through the optic. I mean, it's crazy how visible this is. And I'm going to go ahead and save you some time. The Gen 2 is far and a cry better than the Gen 1. The question remains, is it worth the $20 a box price point? So when we're talking about $20 a box, we are getting up there towards Eley 10X, very, very high-end ammunition. And for me as a PRS NRL style shooter, and I'm sure for many of you guys, for that kind of money, we're expecting some very, very consistent results. So first, let's get out there. I'm going to show you the 50-yard groups that we shot, and then we're going to talk a little bit about how the ammo performed, and then I'm going to show you the 150-yard groups. Okay, let's actually run a group. Wind is good, picking up a little bit. Those are literally in the same hole. And of course I would run out, messing around. 1104, 1100 seems to be the average. Of course, who knows where this is going to go. That was really good. All right, so 5.8 SD, 16.1. You know, we're not really going to judge it. Actually, let me start that over again. So average was 1102, 5.8 and 16.1. Not sure if you can see that. We're going to start it over. Good. I'm going to move over target 3. Oh, we had a failure to fire. Let's see. Failure to fire. So we actually had one of these on our initial series, and may just be the combo of this rifle. So a really good strike, but it did not go off. That's not typical for what I get out of Eley, but let's continue on. Okay, that one was more in the center. Okay. Okay. And threw that one out, but I think that was going to be wind. 4.4 SD, 12.7. So the extreme spread's good. We are getting a little bit of wind. Let me see how many I got left. Wind's kind of at us right now. All right, so out of those 10, standard deviation, let me show you, 6.8, 25.7. So probably not this rifle's favorite deal. I'm gonna move over to the CZ and we'll start up again. All right, so I only brought 2 guns, and then Len's gonna shoot his. His is a RimX CRB barrel. So we've got 2 Maulerworks barrels, one in a CZ, one in a RimX. We're going to see how the CZ does. Like I said, we had total out of probably 25 shots, I think, 2 light strike, or maybe 40 shots probably, 2 on my RimX. So he hasn't had any out of his, so it could just be a me thing. I am going to drop down a row. Of course, the wind would pick up. It's at our back right now. See if we can keep these in the same wind. Got the chronograph going. Okay. One just out. Uh-oh. Got a little happy with the deal here and left it empty. Get out of there. That one I can definitely tell you was wind. I think that was, how many shots? 4. All right, go for number 5. And right back in the center. So one out for wind. Average 1093.9, 7.4, standard deviation 19.6 ES. So we're gonna keep going with that. We're gonna put 10 on here. And it's not a crazy amount, but it's there. See if we're being pushed low right now. If I shoot them in the same wind, it's pretty consistent though. Yeah, so another group, just a little bit of windage change there. So 7, standard deviation 21.2. I'll show you this before I swap to the next mag. We'll go ahead and throw 20 on this. Wind is back to dead. Wind's picking up. Yep. I'm shooting these fast so that I can hopefully keep it in the same wind to keep the group together. And you can see there, when I speed it up, this is obviously probably the gun that prefers this. Still at 5.7, 21.2. You know, it's not fairy tale stuff, but I guarantee if we're out here in 70s, 60s, even low 80s, that SD and ES would shrink. Okay. Not terrible. I want to shoot one more. I keep saying one more. All right, so not bad. I think the wind got us there again. We're going to switch over now. Then we'll have lens gun up here, and we'll shoot that, and we'll see how it goes. All right, fair warning. Lens gun appears to really, really like this. Like that CRV barrel really likes this lot. So you're about to see what I think is a better representation of the ammo. Yeah, it's 2 in 1 hole. I'm watching through a spotter in case you guys didn't pick that up. 3, basically in the same hole. 4 in the same hole. In the same hole. So that's definitely, out of that CRB, it really, really, really likes it. It's still going to be high 2, low 3, even with those. So this group will probably be the bigger end of the average, but still. Yeah, as the winds, I mean, that's the thing. We're going to be fighting this wind. If you guys could see behind the target, but you can't because the target camera's too close. As he shoots through, like I'm seeing the dust swirl, and you know, it's just not ideal conditions for groups, but it's realistic conditions. You know, super hot, muggy, and off and on wind that's not really crazy high in value. It's just off, on, and changing direction every second, like that. You see the first one was 1 hole. It's still going to be a 3. Oh, you went to the wrong target. That's all right. And the Gen 1. The Gen 1 was terrible, like just terrible. This is definitely redeemable, and this is 1 lot again, so you know, there's I think 7 or 8 lots available of this, and it seems like they're going to keep producing lots. There we go. Oh, I got one more. I can't count. funny, when you level the gun, the bullets go to the center. I'd say this barrel likes it more. Yeah, I'd say pretty good. Let's keep it rolling. I want some redemption for the RimX. My downrange camera should not be overheated yet. Wow. Well, you're seeing the wind in that. It's down now. Keep it out of the wind. There we go. So if we keep it out of the wind, that's pretty good. Man, I got 5 here. It's lubed in, it's fouled in. Yeah, I'd say it's averaging 0.2s, 0.3s out of this gun. So not flat out amazing, but not bad for sure. This is just, you know, one lot. I did come back and test 2 different lots. I got pretty similar results. The groups were good, not outstanding. Not, to me, $20 a box groups. Of course, that's going to vary rifle to rifle, lot to lot. I am very, very sure that some people will buy some lots of this in a rifle, and it will absolutely hammer. The question for me and what I'm trying to resolve here, is it worth the $20 a box? From what I have seen, this is a ton better than the Gen 1 Ultra. This bullet is probably the most visible bullet being made today. So if flat out seeing your projectile in air is your only concern, then yeah, it's probably going to be worth the $20 a box. Now the SD and ES that we're seeing, that's the spread across the muzzle velocity of this ammunition out of these rifles. To me, it wasn't $20 a box muzzle velocity consistency. I can find something in Eley Match or Team that would compete with this day in and day out. So let me show you the 150 yard groups so you can get an idea how this performs at distance, and then we're going to come back here and wrap it all up. Alright, so I was actually going to cut this video off and I was going to do a part 2, but what I decided was this is just one lot. So I ordered 2 more lots. You guys will see another video on that. I figured let's come back to the house. The weather was holding out here better than Lens. We meant to shoot this at Lens, but we had a huge storm roll in, and you guys could see that we were playing with some really switchy winds. So we're going to shoot the CZ and the RimX, and we're going to shoot them 150 yards. You guys are looking through the track spotter and my phone. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shoot a couple here. I'm going to aim. I'm just going to put one on that IPSC for a cold bore. Okay, and that plate, you can see my target array is kind of messed up down there, but I'm going to pick a spot and we're going to try and shoot a group on that plate. Okay, I'm actually going to come up. Actually, I'll go down a little bit. Right at the base of that. Hopefully you guys can see where they're going. Okay, that one was a little high. Still a pretty tidy group out of the CZ. I'm running low on this, so we're going to swap over to the RimX now, and we'll see how it does. Ooh. Okay, we're landing low, which is okay. Pretty tidy. I mean, they're stacking in there. Probably not the, you know, the best thing I've ever seen, but this is, again, just one lot. Has intrigued me enough to order a couple more lots to test for sure. All right, we're gonna be impacting a little higher on the plate. Okay, that one drifted a little high. This is again at 150 yards. Pretty good. 10-shot group. That'll be perfect right there. I lied. I want to mix it up. Right. Let's go out to the center of that big circle. Okay, a little low left, that's fine. I think we're actually clipping a limb on the way in. Yep, 100% clipping a limb. Doesn't appear to be affecting us too much though. Yeah, so even shooting through the limbs, it's doing okay. All right, last shots on steel. We're going back to the CZ. We're gonna shoot 167 yards. We've been shooting 150. So it's basically the steel I have that I can see the clearest. We're gonna have to guesstimate here a little bit on dope, which is okay, we'll burn a few, but then we'll have some to shoot for group. All right, let's see, I'm gonna aim at the second one I can see, maybe third from the bottom. Okay, get that kind of high. Well, might as well shoot it, we're on plate. Just over the top edge of it. Just on the top edge. Okay, so we're gonna come down 2/10 and let's shoot a group. Next plate up. Actually, let's go to the fourth plate up, second from the top. Dead center hold, not gonna change it. Yeah, seems to be in there just fine. So again, 150 yards, totally doable. Definitely workable ammunition to go out and shoot a match with. Again, I was seeing similar results to what I would see out of Eley Team, Eley Match that I've tested and found. So for me, not a huge draw to this yet. Now, this is the first lots coming out. And of course, you know, if you lot test enough stuff, you're going to find something that hammers. I'm really torn, guys, because this projectile, again, is probably the most visible projectile in the air I've ever used. And that can be huge. That can have huge advantages. I'm just not quite there on whether or not it's worth it for the $20 a box. I'm going to test more lots. I personally have tested 3, as I said. I have buddies that have tested 6 or 7. I'm going to test a few more. I'm going to spend a few more dollars and test some more in the rifles. I've been primarily testing in the CZ and in the RimXs. I'm going to test some more because I think if I can find something that shoots 2s and really, really tight at 150 and I can get those SD and ESs a little bit better for $20 a box, you know, I'm looking for like 4 and sub 20 on the ES, then I think I would have found a new ammunition. But in large, 100% worth testing. The Gen 1 Eley Ultra, I mean, that was terrible, let's be honest. The Gen 2 is nothing like the Gen 1. So I'm really happy to see that they changed projectiles, they changed the process, they changed things around, and made a much better go at the Gen 2. So where I would have told you on the Gen 1, do not waste your money, do not buy this, do not test it, it's not worth it. The Gen 2, it's worth testing for sure. Like I said, there will be people, no doubt, whose rifles will hammer certain lots of this, and having that really bright projectile is really going to be a huge advantage if you're shooting PRS and NRL, or just shooting 22 out to distance, you know, 150 yards to 400 yards. Seeing this in the air is going to tell you a lot, especially if you're shooting at a target that doesn't, you know, show you your miss. So if you're not seeing splash on a berm, if you're just shooting at a target that's backed into a wood line where you normally wouldn't see anything before, with this, you are going to see that projectile in the air, which is really cool. So again, I appreciate you guys watching. More to come on this as we do more testing, but I wanted to get the information out there. Hope that this has helped you. I appreciate you guys. Catch you on the next one.